In fact, one backdoor in Windows allows Microsoft to remotely install changes without asking permission of the nominal owner of the computer. This means that any malicious feature which is not present in Windows today could be remotely installed tomorrow. So Windows is universal malware. This kind of backdoor is known as a universal backdoor because it could do anything. So Windows is malware, but it's not unique. The Macintosh system is also malware because it has digital handcuffs. The newer Apple products, the iThings, are nastier. People have found spy features, and there's a back door. But what's really so bad about them is they have the tightest digital handcuffs ever. Apple is the pioneer in designing products that are jails for the user. They're designed to restrict more than ever before in a general purpose computer. Because Apple has taken control even over the installation of applications. Users are not free to install whatever applications they wish. They can only install applications approved by Apple. In other words, censorship. When users find ways to defeat this, they call it jailbreaking, which recognizes that these products are designed to be jails. So the Apple computer products are malware. Of course, Microsoft imitated Apple. Once Apple did this, Microsoft started doing it too. So the Apple computer products are malware, and so is Flash Player. Flash Player is gratis, but it's not free software, and it has a surveillance feature and digital handcuffs. Does it matter that Flash Player is gratis? That means that Adobe does not make users pay to be abused. That, I don't think, makes it okay. If you made the mistake of installing Flash Player because it was gratis, delete it as soon as you can. Another example is the PlayStation 3, which had digital handcuffs similar to the iThings. It was done in game consoles before Apple dared to do it in general purpose computers. So somebody figured out how to jailbreak the PlayStation 3, and Sony sent the police after them. That's why we have stickers that say boycott Sony. Don't give them any of your money. Don't give Sony any of your money. Another example is the Amazon swindle. That's not its official name, of course, but that's what it does. It's a reader for ebooks, and it swindles readers out of their traditional freedoms. For instance, there's the freedom to acquire a book anonymously, paying cash. That's impossible with the swindle, because Amazon doesn't let people pay cash. They have to identify themselves. So Amazon manages a giant list of all the books each user has read. The existence of such a list is a threat to human rights. We can't tolerate its existence. Then there's the freedom to read a book and then give it to somebody, or lend it to people, or sell it to a used bookstore. Impossible with the swindle because of digital handcuffs. And also forbidden because Amazon has contempt for private property. Amazon says that you can't buy a book for the swindle. You can only get a license to read it under Amazon's choice of conditions. And then there's the freedom to keep the book for as long as you wish. Amazon eliminates that freedom with a back door. We can't study the source code, so we don't know all the things that back door can do. We know one thing. It can be used to remotely delete books. We know this by observation. In 2009, Amazon remotely deleted thousands of copies of a particular book. Copies which until that day were authorized copies. The users had obtained them directly from Amazon in the usual recommended way. And then on that day, Amazon sent a command to erase them. And since Amazon keeps track of who reads what, Amazon knew exactly where to send this command. The book with which Amazon presented this Orwellian action was 1984 by George Orwell. I'm not making this up. 1984 is a justly famous book. It gave us the sentence, "Big Brother is watching you." It describes a tyrannical government whose crimes began with destroying books that said things that were true, but the government didn't like them. And then got worse from there. There was a lot of criticism of Amazon for deleting these books. So Amazon promised it would never do this again except under orders from the state, which is not very comforting. That's exactly the point. So all of you should read 1984, but not on the swindle. The official name of that product is Kindle. Kindle means to start a fire, which I think is a hint that this product is meant to burn our books. But it will never burn mine. I will never use ebooks unless they give me as a reader the same freedoms that printed books give me. Anything less is unacceptable. My final example of proprietary software with malicious features is found in nearly all portable phones. They have a surveillance feature. They send your GPS location on remote command, and they have a universal backdoor. Software can be changed remotely. In fact, portable phones have been remotely converted into listening devices. So that is that they transmit all the conversation that they pick up. And you don't have to talk right into the phone. They can hear people talking across the room. You've heard of software that had bugs. This software is a bug. This is why I won't have a portable phone. 10 years ago, I think, if someone had said to you, would you like to carry a tracking and listening device that will say where you are all the time and can be used to listen to the conversation around you at any time? You would have said, absolutely not. What do you think I am? And that's what I still say. I don't care how convenient it will be. There's some things we must not accept. So, I've proved that most people using proprietary software are using proprietary malware. But there are thousands of other non-free programs without Freedom 1, and we don't know what they do. We don't know if they have malicious features. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. So we have to consider them potential malware. Any proprietary program without Freedom 1 must be considered potential malware because it's just trust me software. But if we consider the ones that don't have malicious features, They have errors because their developers are human and they make mistakes. And the user of a program without Freedom 1 is just as helpless facing an accidental error as facing a deliberate malicious feature. If you use a program without Freedom 1, you are a prisoner of the program. We free software developers are human too. We also make mistakes. So our free programs have bugs too. It's inevitable. But if you find a bug in our free code or anything in the code that you don't like, you are free to change it because we did not make you our prisoner. We can't be perfect. We can respect your freedom. So Freedom 1 is essential. That music is awfully distracting for me. And it must be, if we can hear it here this loud, it must be damaging people's ears wherever it's playing. Anyway, I'll try to ignore it. So Freedom 1 is essential, but it's not enough. Because that's the freedom to personally study and change the source code, or to do it inside one organization. Now that's not enough because there are millions of users that don't know how to program. They don't know how to exercise Freedom 1, at least not directly. But even for programmers like me, it's not enough because each programmer is busy doing certain jobs and doesn't have time to study and change everything else. In fact, there are so many free programs